Hello, hello. I got a great little story for you. So my grandmother, I call her Gigi, she's awesome. She's 92 years old. She's still fully functioning, drives, does everything, right? She came to see me and go clothes shopping the other day. And she lives about 2 hours from me. So when she got home, she called me like she does. And she's like, "Hey, Heather, I'm home." She says, "But it took me 3.5 hours to get back due to slowdowns on the interstate, due to car accidents and all this other stuff." She says, "But I'm here." And I think this is a great metaphor, if you will, for this journey of health and weight loss. I was sharing something in our community about taking a leadership role in your weight loss journey and how it needed to be less about you asking what everybody else is doing and starting to look at your own situation, create your own program of you, made by you, for you, and trying to do this from a more authentic, internal, intrinsic place. What are my habits? What are my behaviors? And when we think about why people struggle, so let's use the driving home metaphor from Gigi, okay? If the road represented us getting to our goals, what so many people do, and you know I've done it, we've all done it, you start and then you stop. So if Gigi getting home is Gigi getting, if we're using as a representation of getting to our goal, it would be like you drove a few miles, got frustrated, traffic was bad, and you parked your car on the side of the road. You're like, "I'm not going anywhere. This is ridiculous. This should be going quicker. I'm not driving in this. This is a nightmare. I don't want to do this." Okay, but now you still have to keep driving if you want to get to the final destination. So you've now chosen to check out of the process, right? This is that whole stopping and starting. Whereas if we were to do kind of like what Gigi did, we just crawl along, maybe at a snail's pace, but we're still moving forward. We're still making progress. We're still baby stepping our way there. And then if you have to take a potty break, you get off, you get back on, you keep going, right? But then you say, "But Heather, then why do so many people just start and stop? Why does that happen?" Because the way that you're putting your program together probably wasn't put together by you for you. It probably was you diving wholeheartedly into something someone else told you should do. Example, I've done this many times, so I can speak from my own experience. I sign up for Weight Watchers, did it a gajillion times. They give me all the materials. I decide I'm gonna do the program. Even though I'm not even remotely in the ballpark, not even a little bit as far as the points that were allotted to me. And I go in full force. I dedicate myself to it. I make their recipes. I journal the way that they tell me to journal. I eat at the point level, or attempt to eat at the point level that they tell me to, even though I'm binging on the side and there was no way that was going to happen. And then 2, 4, 6 weeks in, roughly, I would quit. I'd stop my car. I wasn't going to do it anymore. I was frustrated. My weight wasn't coming off. I couldn't adhere to the program the way it was written, and I was done, right? If I had been doing Heather's plan, what I would have done is I would have said, how many points does Heather eat right now? Like, let's not worry about what Weight Watchers says. Let's just see what Heather actually does. Then let's modify that, right? So if I were to say, why do people stop and start? Same thing, and think, intermittent fasting. They say I'm not supposed to eat during this window, and I'm supposed to eat during this window. Okay, but what about the time that doesn't work for you? What about the time that you actually have a social get-together or something that you have to make it work? Why is it got to be their way and not your way, right? So the reason so many people stop and start is because they don't take that authentic, necessary step of what works for me. Not how is this written out, not what does everyone tell me I have to do. How can I make this work for me? When you do that, because I guarantee you, Gigi made many potty breaks on the way home. she made it work for her. She was going to get home. She might be going at a snail's pace. It might take her an extra hour and a half longer than it should, but she was going to make sure she got home, right? So she did what she had to do. When we think about why do we stop and start, it's because what we are attempting to do truly is not sustainable for the rest of our life. It is not your program made by you. If it was, I don't want to say it would feel effortless, but it would definitely be something you could keep trudging along with, assuming you're actually working on your headspace, right? So all these how my thinking leads to eating videos, you're working on your lower brain chatter, you're understanding how those can mucky up the works, if you will. But the idea that you wouldn't stop and start, you would keep nudging forward. And that truly is the difference, right? Like if you were in this for the long haul, like we talk about burning your boats, you're not going to quit. You're just going to keep trudging forward. You're going to keep making small modifications. You're eventually going to get there. It may not be at the pace anyone else thinks is okay. It may not be at the pace you think is okay, but you will arrive. But I guarantee you, had Gigi pulled over to the side of the road and said, you know, this is ridiculous. I'm not doing this. This isn't happening. I can't stand this. I'm not doing this another day, another moment. She would never have gotten home. So you have to think about this whole process differently. Is this my plan? How do you know it's your plan? You took what someone recommended, you took what was useful, you discarded what was not, you made it uniquely your own. Is it something I will trudge forward with even when life gets difficult, even when the traffic is at a full-on stop? Will I keep progressing with this? If the answer is no, because it's so difficult and so hard and it's not remotely anything that fits into my lifestyle, then you know you're doing something that's not sustainable. Ditch that. Start to find something that's better suited to you. And that might be taking pieces and elements of it, but not the whole thing. Do you see what I mean? So this is something I want to encourage you to do, because in my journey, there was no quitting. I was just going to keep going. I was going to start with a walk. I was going to add in some fruits and vegetables. I was going to learn to cook some food and eat out less. It was layering habit on top of habit. All the while, I was willing to do those things. Even if the weight was at a standstill, even if the weight was just creeping along at a snail's pace, it didn't matter, because I wasn't going to stop doing those behaviors. I was eventually going to get there. And 5 years later, I did. And now 10 years after that, I've been maintaining. And you know what? Maintaining's been a heck of a lot easier because I took the time to learn all those things that I didn't know before. So just want to encourage you, there is no timeline. You get it when you get it. But I guarantee you, stopping never works. Did that a lot of the times. Never worked until this last time when I totally changed my mindset on that. So I hope this analogy and story is helpful for you. Please like and subscribe. Please share the videos. I'm encouraging people to share videos too, because I do want to grow the channel and help as many people as I can, because I know this is a universal issue. We're all struggling with it. We all have struggled with it. So I hope this is valuable to you guys. I will talk to you soon.